Hello there, law seekers. Anyone who's ever stared at a locked door on a Sunday desperately needing a bottle of wine or a specific type of screw you forgot on Saturday. Today, we're diving into a topic that is both bafflingly ancient and surprisingly relevant: Sunday laws, or, as they're more dramatically known, blue laws. No, they're not laws about the colour blue, which would be absurd. These are laws designed to restrict or completely ban certain activities on a Sunday, most notably commerce. Think of them as a legally mandated day of rest. They're the reason you might find yourself in a ghost town of a shopping plaza on a perfectly good Sunday afternoon. The term blue law itself is a bit of a historical mystery. Some say it comes from a book of strict colonial laws in New Haven, Connecticut, that was bound in blue paper. Others suggest it's because the laws were associated with the blue-nosed Puritans. Whatever the origin, the name stuck. Let's hop in our historical time machine, which is probably also closed on Sundays, and travel back to the year 321 AD. Our host, Emperor Constantine the Great. Yes, that Constantine. The one who had a big moment with a cross in the sky on March 7th of that year. He issued a decree that would echo for nearly 2 millennia. He declared that on the venerable day of the sun, magistrates, city dwellers and workshops should rest. Farmers, however, got a pass, because, let's be honest, crops don't care what day it is. This was the genesis, the patient zero of Sunday closing laws in the Western world. Now fast forward over 1,000 years, English colonists packing their Bibles, their muskets, and a healthy dose of religious fervour. In early America, Sunday wasn't just a day of rest, it was a day of compulsory piety. In 1658, Virginia passed a law fining people for failing to attend church on Sunday. These weren't just suggestions, they were the law of the land, enforced with gusto. As the United States formed and the Constitution was written, you'd think these laws would have faded away, but they didn't. Meanwhile, back across the pond in the motherland, the British were having their own long and complicated relationship with Sundays. It wasn't just the American colonists who were obsessed with a quiet Sabbath. The UK Parliament got in on the act, passing a series of laws known as the Sunday Observance Acts. The first major one came in 1625, which kicked things off by banning sports and other worldly travels on the Lord's Day. This was followed by the Sunday Observance Act of 1677, the real heavyweight. It prohibited tradesmen, artificers and labourers from doing any work of their ordinary calling on a Sunday. It was a comprehensive shutdown order, the bedrock of Sunday trading restrictions for nearly 300 years. Think about that. A law passed when Charles II was on the throne was still dictating shopping hours well into the era of the internet. The law was incredibly specific, listing forbidden activities and providing only a few exceptions, like the sale of milk before 9 a.m. and after 4 p.m. It created a legal framework that made Sunday a fundamentally different day from the rest of the week. Why was it legal to buy a pornographic magazine, classified as a periodical, but illegal to buy a Bible on a Sunday? The loopholes and inconsistencies became legendary, producing absurd situations that made a mockery of the law. The push for reform grew louder in the 20th century. It took until 1994, with the Sunday Trading Act, for most major restrictions to be lifted, allowing large shops a 6-hour window. And it wasn't until 2004 that the final remnants were repealed. The compromise, limited Sunday hours instead of a free-for-all, shows how deeply ingrained the idea of a special Sunday remains. You'd be forgiven for thinking blue laws are just a quirky footnote in history books. But you would be wrong. So wrong. These laws are alive and well, hiding in plain sight in various corners of the world, including the USA. They are the legal equivalent of finding a fossil in your backyard. For example, if you're in Texas and decide on a Sunday that you desperately need to make a margarita, you're out of luck until noon, and you can forget buying hard liquor at a liquor store, as they are closed all day. The same goes for states like Oklahoma. In Illinois, it's illegal to hold horse races on a Sunday. In Pennsylvania and New Jersey, you will find it impossible to buy a car from a dealership on a Sunday. But the undisputed king of modern blue laws is Bergen County, New Jersey. Most non-food retail is completely forbidden from opening. Clothing, electronics, furniture, all shuttered. You can buy groceries, but you can't buy a new pair of socks. You can go to a restaurant, but you can't buy a book. Imagine the economic activity being squashed. A family has a free day. They want to go car shopping together. And the state says, nope. Remnants of these laws influence labour regulations. The concept of getting paid time and a half for working on a Sunday is a direct descendant of the day of rest idea. So the next time you get that overtime pay, you can thank Emperor Constantine. Nowhere is this conflict more perfectly encapsulated than in the saga of the American Dream Mall. This colossal, multi-billion-dollar retail and entertainment behemoth part shopping centre, part indoor ski slope, part water park, happens to be located in, you guessed it, Bergen County, New Jersey. When the mall was nearing completion, it ran headfirst into Paramus's brick wall of blue laws. The borough of Paramus has sued the developers of this mall for selling retail goods on a Sunday, and the case is still pending. You may well believe that the Sunday laws are archaic, discriminatory, and costing the state millions in tax revenue. It may very well be argued that enforcing a Christian day of rest in a diverse, multicultural society is unconstitutional. Perhaps you think that these blue laws are absurd in expecting Nickelodeon Universe, DreamWorks Waterpark, Gucci, Zara to be all closed on Sundays. Paramus and Bergen County residents have consistently argued for quality of life. Sunday is their one day of peace from traffic and congestion. Are you on the side of tradition? Do you want the court to side with the town, upholding the blue laws? Or are you on the side of modern convenience and freedom of commerce any day of the week? So, where does this leave us? It leaves us with a fundamental question about the kind of society we want to live in. Should we keep these old rules, echoes of a more religious and less hurried time? Do they serve a valuable purpose by giving us a forced break from the relentless cycle of consumer culture? Or are they outdated, inconvenient, and frankly, a bit silly? Is it time for complete Sunday shopping freedom? There's no easy answer. Your view likely depends on whether you're the one stuck in traffic or the one trying to buy a new blender. So what do you think? It's your Sunday after all. You should probably have a say in it. Let me know in the comments. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe for more quick legal bites like this.